So we're now going to move on to the 2014 Henners Vintage. Now, Paul, in terms of sort of food and wine matching, why would you put this particular wine with a particular dish?
I think, well, obviously when we're selecting the matching of the dishes with the wine, Sarah and I and the wine team will sit and discuss and decide which way we're going with this. But it, you know, for me, the vintage smacks of sort of earthiness, richness, buttery, a bit of dairy in there. I mean, we've got two of the most amazing things of what I've just said there. You've got an amazing organic chicken from the Rhug estate. We've got Wiltshire black truffle and a local butter, which is just like butter used to taste when we were about 6, you know. So for me, when I taste that, it triggers little memories and little matches with your taste buds. And we try to come up with something that's it's seasonality, but it's also about what can we put together with the things that we've got in our larder on our doorstep, if you like. So this dish is going to be an organic chicken from the Rhug estate. We're going to stuff it with black truffle butter, roast it, and then finish it with chanterelle, trompette, a little bit of cavolo, nero and romenesco. We're still in that sort of changeover between winter and spring, and then finally a lot of extra truffle on top. Here we are with the king of all chickens, as I've just said, Britain's poulet de Bresse. So we're literally going to just take the legs off. Nothing ever gets wasted. We have nothing but respect for the ingredients that we use. So these legs actually go away and they're poached, and then we pick the meat to make a pithivier. So I'm just loosening the skin from the breast meat. We've got some truffle butter, which has obviously our great local dairy butter, the Wiltshire black truffle, and then we put some tarragon, cracked pepper, Maldon salt, plenty of seasoning so we get lots of flavour under the skin, and obviously that keeps it nice and moist during the cooking process. So we're just under the skin where the cavity has been made, make sure we get a healthy amount going on both sides. So just reshaping and making sure that black truffle butter is going right to the top in the oven. That's going to cook in 30 minutes. We're going to clean away now, get rid of the raw, and then come back and finish the dish with the cooked. So we're now going to start building the garnish for the dish. We've still got cavolo neros coming towards the end of the season, but still a beautiful, sort of almost like a seaweedy texture to it. Romenesco, our sort of pterodactyl looking cauliflower, which is coming towards the end of the season, but still fabulous. And then we've got these wonderful things to go with our black truffle, trompette and chanterelles. And these are also grown in the UK, pomme violette or purple potatoes. I've started our little camping stove over here. These have been just steamed and sliced. And then again, we're just going to pop our little chanterelles and trompette, just a few like that. Tiny little bit of seasoning, a little bit of pepper. Some of the magic butter that we've talked about. You can see that's picked up a little bit of colour already. And I'm going to stop there and just let them drain, because again, we don't want to overcook anything. And for this next bit, I've just got some veg stock. So we're going to use the heat of the pan, a little bit of butter. This is for the green vegetables now. Again, some seasoning. And then we go with our cavolo and our little bits of romenesco. Just only need 2 or 3 pieces. During lockdown, we had just been signed to do the Grand National at Aintree, and we had a new plate commissioned by Royal Crown Derby to celebrate that fact. And of course, they haven't been used at Aintree, and we were hoping that we were going to get it into this year at Aintree, and of course, we're going to have to wait 1 more year. So these plates, when they get unveiled, are going to be very special to us. I don't know if it'll mean the same to everybody else, but it's been frustrating. So I thought, why not use them today?
Fantastic.
Why don't we give them a little airing today? The chicken has now come from the oven. You can see all that lovely black truffle has just melted into the breast of the bird and is just nice and rested, maybe 15-20 minutes. In a little baby's bottle over here, we've got some parsnip puree. Parsnip is such a wonderful puree in that it makes its own texture so smooth, and then we've got our little pomme violette. The colour and the texture of them, they're very waxy and they've got a lovely flavour. Some people, I know it sounds funny, but some people think we've dyed them or something, or turned them into, soaked them in beetroot juice, but it's just a variety of potato. And if you close your eyes, it would be one of the nicest potatoes you've ever tasted. So then we've got our little romenesco just sitting on the purple. And then some cavolo in the centre, those nice little greens. And of course, for me, one of the loveliest things, the orange chanterelle and the black trompette just mingling through. So I'm almost creating like a little woodland where the chicken has been nibbling in its life, and these chefs' minds work in mysterious ways, but that's what I think I'm creating when I'm doing that. For me, food is edible art. It should be treated that way, and it's a very instinctive thing, food, you know. So we've taken one of the breasts off. I'm just going to trim that so it's nice and neat, and I'm just going to carve it straight down, and I'm going to stand it up using the puree and the little forest that we've just created. And then, of course, we talked about our star of the show, lovely truffle and a microplane. And then finally, our little cafe au lait. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit there. And that is a lovely way to finish with our vintage Henners organic Rhug estate chicken with black winter truffle.
Cheers, chef.
What a lovely way to finish. Cheers.
You.